Hey there, happy Finance Thursday from your non-hat dude wearing mortgage guy today. And we got Craig Garcia, our president of Capital Partners Mortgage back. We're working today. It's a holiday. It's a federal holiday, but
Happy Juneteenth, Bill.
happy Juneteenth. And we are working. Remember, we're a sales organization and salespeople. We're always working. So
Money never sleeps.
money never sleeps. Exactly. I like that. So, Craig, big news in South Florida this week. I mean, we have a two-time Stanley Cup team here right in our backyard. I mean, they play their games like right down the road.
Unbelievable. I mean, one of the best things that you can do at a live sporting event is go to a Panthers game. It's just a great place to see a game. It's a great experience, and I cannot believe our team is back-to-back champs. It's pretty exciting.
It's really quite amazing you think about it, because I think I may have said it last week. This team was a dumpster fire. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
horrible. I remember back in 2008, 2009, possibly, like they were giving away tickets and still couldn't fill up that arena. And
I
they
remember.
brought in great ownership. No, it's a great story. And then you listen to the players and the coach, and they're all the team concept, and it's really quite amazing.
Oh yeah, no, and it's one of these things where you realize you got to enjoy it while you can, because these things are pretty fleeting usually in
Yeah.
sports, and like our Dolphins, they haven't been able to do anything in
Yeah.
a really
Now,
long
now
time.
they're the dumpster fire. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
So
remember it was funny because Heather Ann, my loan officer assistant last year, after they'd won the championship, I was down to the Keys on vacation, and her and I were talking, and I'm like, oh, and I came back. I said, oh, did you go down to because she's a big Panther fan. Did you go to the elder room? She's like, oh, no, we couldn't make it, but maybe next year. I'm like, it's very difficult to win a Stanley Cup. I don't know if they'll get back to next year, but here we are. They did it again.
yeah,
So
three straight years in the finals, and the year
yeah,
before that, they had the best record in the league. It's
yep.
quite an extraordinary run. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All good stuff. Good stuff.
yes,
But
sir.
so we're here. We're here on our day off, so to speak. It's on Thursday.
Yep,
As we always talk about with mortgages, we're talking about kind of three things. I think today we'll just narrow down to two. Let's talk about mortgage rates. Freddie Mac survey comes out. Rates kind of still kind of slowly trending downward a little bit.
yeah,
Well, I guess part of it, another part of it too, that with the Federal Reserve Bank yesterday, not a whole lot of action there, and it left rates alone.
that's right.
What do you think that will do for mortgage rates, or make any changes in the foreseeable next couple of months, Craig?
Yeah, I always think anytime there's a Fed meeting, it always is a good thing to remind people that maybe don't know, that the Fed doesn't control mortgage rates. And so even if they had cut rates yesterday, which nobody was expecting them to cut rates, then it wouldn't mean that the mortgage rates were getting better. I mean, sometimes it actually works exactly the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, by the time they do something, unless it's a huge shock, everybody's already, the bond market's already kind of priced in what they think is going to happen in the future.
Right.
Usually, so really not much happened yesterday, or what, when Powell spoke, he didn't say anything that people weren't really expecting him to say. And so the outlook really didn't change, very much. There was
Right.
some people that were anticipating some later cuts next year. Other members of the Fed were anticipating maybe some earlier cuts, so it was kind of offsetting. So no big change, out of the Fed meeting. And now it'll just be, hey, let's continue to monitor, just like Powell said, what's happening with inflation, what's happening with the economy, what's happening
Yeah.
with the jobs market, and then the rates will take their cues from those market reports that come out, and what the market participants think about those reports and how that'll
Yeah.
impact the future. So
Yeah, I always kind of have it on the background just to kind of get an overall vibe of kind of what's going on, his take, so to speak, on the economy. I mean,
yeah,
like you said, it's not really directly what the Fed does, but
yeah.
at least if we can kind of get an overall idea of what's going on in the economy, that's all kind of good information to get.
Yeah, it's maybe another way to say it is like sometimes you'll see, like if you follow stocks, and the stock's earnings report will come out, and sometimes the stock's earning will be better than what was expected, and yet the stock price will go down because of
Right.
what was said about the future prospects for the company on the call. That's usually what makes more of an impact, is what Powell says about what they may do in the future, but nothing really came out of that yesterday.
Yeah. So it looks like we'll probably be right around that 7% for the next few months in the foreseeable future. And hopefully, we'd love to all get some relief to get down to the low sixes or fives, but doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime in the near future. So,
We would need some bad news economically.
right.
So if that starts happening, and
Yeah. Yeah, such
then,
as a war, so.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't want
We
that.
shall see. So,
Yeah.
but big news in Florida real estate market this week was the Hometown
Yes.
Heroes program. Yes, the state has finally passed the budget. The governor
Yeah.
hasn't signed it yet, but unfortunately, it's kind of a little bit of sour news. You know, we were thinking we were going to get $100 million like they did last couple of years, and we only got 50.
Yeah, a little bit of a plot twist. So
Yeah.
the last year we had $100 million, and then they actually funded it another 30 something $1 million. After the funds had run out, and then this year, yeah, the amount is $50 million. So it's half of what it was originally last year.
Yeah.
And then the other change is they've reverting, and this is going to impact a lot of people. They're reverting back to making it available only for people in certain employment categories. So now the original program was Hometown Heroes, was really for first responders, police officers, firefighters, medical personnel, teachers, and it's back to that. Now
Kind
the
of back to its
budget,
original intent. It's really for Hometown Heroes now.
it's back to the heroes, and not just for anybody who works in Florida.
Right.
So there is and there's a bit of a delay. Obviously the whole budget process was delayed. The governor still has to sign off on the budget. And then, what they have indicated is that the July 1st typical kickoff date for getting reservations and locking a rate in, it's going to be delayed. And we don't know what the new date is yet. So
Yeah.
hopefully it won't be too much longer than that. But they have basically said that it won't be ready by July 1st at this point. So we already kind of know that.
We shall see.
Yep.
But whenever there's, lemons given, we're always trying to make lemonade, right? And
Always.
we've got some good news here, on the Capital Partners forefront or something like that. I don't know if I could use that, but our home front.
Yes.
But we may have some other options that maybe people were not aware of, right?
So we've already looked at this gap of people who maybe have been waiting and anticipating trying to get these Hometown Hero funds, and what programs we've got available right now that we can use to help them get in. And the good news is that we actually have some really viable opportunities and options for people who maybe are not going to be able to get Hometown Heroes. And I would say that the market this year is different, where we can bring in some of our structuring of deals to make some really nice, attractive financing packages for people with a properly structured contract.
Yeah.
So that when we work with your agent and we explain what we can do, and how to structure an offer, there's a lot of opportunities, and I think that there's some really viable programs that people can get into right now without having to wait for Hometown Heroes. And for people who cannot get Hometown Heroes, there are programs that we've got available that can still get you up to 5% for down payment assistance.
Right. Just like Hometown Heroes.
Just like Hometown Heroes. There are programs that have up to 5% down payment assistance that is forgivable, which is unlike Hometown Heroes.
That's right.
There are programs that we have that can get you that type of down payment assistance that you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer or a veteran.
That's right.
And there's no income limits.
Yeah.
So there are more options than people think. So if you're an agent and you have a buyer and you knew that they were waiting for Hometown Hero, there may be some better options for them, or better options than nothing.
Listen. I mean, you brought up some
we're
very
excited. We've been crunching the numbers and looking at some comparative options, and I think people that if they find out about this news that may negatively impact their ability to get Hometown Heroes, hope is not lost by any means. There's still opportunities, and it's a buyer's kind of a market. It should be a buyer's kind of a summer. I would still be excited. You just may have to, shift gears a little bit, but I think there's still great opportunities.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I talk to the agents here in my office, and there's some listings that have been sitting around for a little bit now, and it has become more of a buyer's market, and the sellers are going to play ball more. Most of the deals I see active right now are getting seller concessions. So, I mean, and so this kind of plays right into it. I mean, these three things you wrote. I mean, this is a huge tool.
It is a huge tool.
I just couldn't resist.
I know. So hopefully that's not going to become too much of a recurring theme, but
no,
of
course not.
We shall see.
We can't do that because we wouldn't want to scare anybody or get sued for that matter. Yeah, good stuff. And so when do you think we're going to kind of launch this home front hero type of programs, even though those programs are already available? What from a marketing perspective, when do you think we'd be launching this, Craig?
We are working on it very hard, and I think that we're going to have something here in the coming days. I would say would be a fair way to say it. Next week at some point.
Right.
I think we'll definitely beat we'll be able to get out there before Hometown Heroes is actually available.
Okay.
So, yeah,
But these
so
are programs that are available right now
they're
today, and then
right
I'm
now,
originating one right now. I mean, so
right now.
right
Yes,
now it's already available. We don't have to wait,
that's
and
correct.
there is hope, and I think it's good stuff, and I think we're gonna just this is gonna be great to show, especially the listing agents for these homes that are sitting and they're not really sure what to do, and great idea
Yeah.
to really let them know, hey, there is stuff available. Don't be sour by no hometown heroes. We've got options.
Yeah, and these programs that we've got access to, they are not going to run out of funds. Okay, not anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I do anticipate, because the Hometown Heroes is only $50 million, even though they're ratcheting back on the employment categories, it's still going to go pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, but these other options we'll still have them available. So yeah, no, definitely we're excited about that, and looking forward to an awesome selling summer.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
we're already in full swing. We're in the second half of June right now, so there's a lot of business out there. We're busy. We're taking apps and doing great. And yes, that's going to be just some more tools for the arsenal for all of our realtor partners to help them close more deals, right, Craig? It's what we're here about. We're going to help you close more deals.
100%.
Yes. And so, all right, we'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to chime in about, or some nice to know information we'd like to share with our realtor partners?
Nothing that's coming to mind at the moment, and I'll probably edit that out. But
Okay. Let's wait for Miami Dolphins pre-camp, I guess. No more sports unless you're a Marlins fan for the next couple of months, unfortunately.
yeah, we still might have one or two basketball games left, and then that's it. Then
Yeah.
we're off to be out there, and we look forward to seeing you at the closing table.
Closing table. All right.
right.
Let me know how that editing comes out and the sound, all that stuff.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
Craig. Thanks, bud.